What is up, everybody? This is your girl, Martha D. Staub, owner of MDMC Entertainment, and it's a live show today. I apologize. All of you guys have been asking me, and just, the emails keep flooding in, the DMs keep flooding in. When are you going to have another guest? And which kind of sucks because I thought I was entertaining enough, but I get it. And talking to these guests are just so much fun. And today I have a really good one. A special shout out to Ryan Bueda from the Morphin Network for hooking us up with our next guest. Please welcome our he's a voiceover actor and just got into stunt work. Please welcome Justin Cabanting. Cabanting? Is it right?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, you got it, Martha. Yeah. Thank you so much for having me. Again, thank you, Ryan, for connecting us. And we kicked it off pretty well, right, Martha?
Yeah, it was funny because Ryan's like, "Hey, do you want this person? You want this person? You want this person?" And I'm like, "Yo, Ryan, it's Christmas. Like, I don't want to think about that for a minute." And then he was like, "No, no, Justin's really cool." And I was like, "All right." So we started talking last year, and then I was trying to just over the course of from December, the beginning of December to now, my business doubled, not triple, it doubled. And so I'm like, crap, I don't have time to do a live show anymore. I don't have a time to do anything anymore. And I'm like, we got to get Justin in. And, poor Ryan, he keeps calling, like he called and I was like, I can't talk to you right now. And so I was like, I got to get back on this. Like, I'm my worst enemy when it comes to, keeping on schedule, which is the worst. I keep on schedule for everybody else, but for myself. And I'm like, wait, hold on, business first. Like, we got to take care of our MDMC brand.
Yep. That's essential. I mean, you can't operate without the home base. You have to make sure that that's up and running in order to be able to span out and do everything else.
Yeah. It's nuts. I don't know if I told you, Justin, but we do this live show on YouTube, and then the next day it ends up on our podcast streaming site. So Pandora, Spotify, Google, Apple, we're everywhere.
Very cool. Oh man, covering all your avenues.
I don't know if that's more pressure for you or what, but we have someone, Chris Baldwin, says, "Hey, what's up, Justin?" So yeah, I mean, this is exciting. All right, Justin, let's get to it though. Okay. What got you on this path to voiceover work? Because I love talking to voice actors because not every path is the same.
It never is. It's quite interesting when you hear everyone's story because, again, you get people from very different origins. It's like a superhero story. Like the bottom line is, yes, they do have those catalytic causations that help them propel them to go into this path of superheroism. Just for an example. So with voice actors, yeah, I mean it's all different. So with me, believe it or not, it's not crazy. I wasn't bitten by a radioactive spider. I wasn't a billionaire who just happened to buy a bat suit and go into all that. But it all started when I was in high school. I just absolutely grew up loving cartoons, animation, video games, and I was just so intrigued by just how people were able to just breathe characters to life. And so when I got into high school, I really wanted to try and do that because around that time, there's a famous series called Kingdom Hearts by Disney and Square Enix. A lot of people are very familiar with it. And so there was a specific title called Birth by Sleep, which originally came out for the PlayStation Portable. And so, me being the nerdy otaku anime very centric guy that I just got my mom's laptop or her MacBook that has a built-in microphone, and of course, I just recorded like doing a very trailer centric voice. Just like Kingdom Hearts, Birth by Sleep. Of course, it didn't sound as as good as it could have is right now, but of course, it was very corny. And so, over time, I just love doing it so much and doing impressions that I met with other people online, not just in my local community. I reached out. There are people from Australia, there are people from the
Mhm.
UK, and also people who are multilingual. And so being able to create these connections, it drove me to pursue voice acting even more. And so over time, this exchange of ideas, this cornucopia of people, it allowed me to get more feedback in order to become a better talent overall. And since then, I've uh, grown to be working in a more professional capacity. And then about 2.5 years ago, I was recruited by A3 Artist Agency, which was previously known as Abrams Artists. And
Right.
so, and from then on, I've been in a number of video games and a number of animation, and it can only go up from here. And I'm so very humbled and happy to have had so many people in my corner rooting for me, and being able to pursue what I love.
I was gonna say, because I think there was something I saved a message from where you said that you signed 2 years ago. You signed on with A3 Artist Agency in LA. That's
Yes,
crazy. Um, that
blows my mind to this day.
that that's not easy.
No,
That is
it's
not
definitely not
easy
easy.
at all. And the reason I know this, an agent friend of mine, she actually reps a lot of the Kingdom Hearts people, and so
Oh.
she's got a lot of the voice actors and stuff. So I love talking to them because, it's so hard to create something, a sound for something. You don't know what that sounds like. You're only basing it off a picture. And you have to
Oh yeah,
breathe life into it. Like that is just majestic in and of itself. It's an art.
yeah. It's definitely an art form, and it goes without saying that there is definitely a lot of appreciation all over the world, with people who know who these voices are, or
Mhm.
with talent that goes from live acting and acting on camera
Mhm.
into voiceover. And so it's really intriguing to see that gap bridged, and to see how us talents are able to convey things in a different art form, and also to be able to help breathe these creative ideas into life. And so I absolutely agree with you. Voice acting is absolutely beautiful.
It is. I mean, I'm astounded by just how people can change their voices almost to the snap of a finger. How, and I don't know how they do it. Did you do any special training? Because you started this very early on. Did you set your educational goals in that direction, or how did that just happen?
So when I was in high school, when I did start, I wasn't 100% equipped with a big budget.
Mhm.
Being a high schooler with um, birthday money and gift money from the grandparents, of course.
Yeah.
So, but I was fortunate enough to actually take several classes with such a voice. I was mentored by Anne Ganguza and her team. That was my crucial big step into the voiceover industry, because I got to see that voiceover definitely spans farther than just video games and animation. When you hear it on the radio, when you hear it just in commercial advertising, it's there.
Yeah.
You hear it on the radio, you hear it on broadcast, you hear it on television and streaming even now.
Yeah.
And so such a voice definitely opened those doors to me, and I can't thank Anne and her team enough to help practice how to control my voice, how
Mhm.
to control the ebb and flow in between words to help engage listeners. And so,
Right.
yeah,
That is so cool. And you said you've been at this for like 6 years now, right?
6 years professionally. Yeah,
Wow.
I sound old.
What has been your favorite project that you've worked on?
So far in voiceover, it definitely as far as between Does it matter if I specify between fan projects
Oh,
or
whatever's been your
professional
favorite.
projects? Here, I'll go ahead and give two answers. As far as
Okay.
professional, I definitely have enjoyed being part of the Black Survival series. It is a MOBA style game, a massive online battle arena game for those who are fans of League of Legends, Diablo. It's
Mhm.
a very similar style type of gameplay. It started on smartphones. For anyone who's familiar with the Black Survival series, it was started by a company called Arch Bears, and then they had collaborated with another studio, and they com- uh, partnered up or combined, merged, if you will, to
Mhm.
become Nimble Neuron. And so their most recent game, Eternal Return Black Survival, is a uh, revitalization and a bit of a sequel. And so that game came out in October, and it is free to play. It follows a uh, it, it is free to play. There are microtransactions in it, but they're not necessary to play, and it's ongoing. And being able to be invited back on for a game series,
Yeah.
it's kind of like a. I know it's kind of far saying it, but it is a dream come true because I
Yeah.
voiced the same character that I did in the first one. I was like, oh, they want me back because
Cool.
the platform I had been picked up to voice in the game for that same character. They don't link you up. They give you a script, uh, and they submit notes if they want you to do redos.
Mhm.
And yeah, I was so uh flattered that they wanted me back, and they actually uh did an interview for me as well on my experience voicing the character and being brought back. It just felt like
Aw,
an absolute honor. It
that's
was an absolute honor.
yeah. How crazy. Do you have like any of your friends that like play these video games and they're like, "Yo, I heard you in this."
Surprisingly, quite a couple. I was surprised because when you hear people playing smartphone games, you'd think, oh, they're playing um games like Candy Crush Saga or something, or even Supercell's game. I forget what it's called. The
Mhm.
Clash, or Clash Battle Royale or whatever. And surprisingly, there was a few. They were like, "Oh shoot, yeah." They and the surprisingly, because it is a South Korean developed game. The
Mhm.
developers are in Seoul. It's big there, and then it expanded as far like all the way around the globe. And a lot of my Filipino friends who are from the Philippines, they
Yeah.
also play it, and so that totally, woo, that was a wave that I didn't believe
Oh my
actually I
God.
ever thought would happen. Excuse me.
Is there a fan club out there for you?
No, but
Should we get
I
one
will. I
started?
mean, we can. Oh, that would just like woo. I haven't peaked yet, but wow, that's up there.
That's huge.
Um, I came across a Reddit comment the other day. I was just uh I was just scrolling through Reddit one day, and then I was checking out some strategies for the character I voice.
Mhm.
Strangely enough, yeah, I'm gonna be biased and play my own character.
Right.
um there were several comments. There was a comment thread on the Reddit for the game, and
Mhm.
the several of the Reddit commenters said they get so hyped when they hear my voice or when they hear the lines of dialogue, like when they're attacking. I'm like, whoa.
That's
And
so
I had
cool.
it was like an out of body experience, Martha. I'm like, what? I can
Aw, did you jump in there and say thank you guys?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I said, "Hey guys, it's me. I'm on Reddit. Thank you so much for your kind words, and I look forward to being able to keep playing the character of Hyun Woo for
Yeah,
future games if they do make them." But yeah,
yeah. That is hella fascinating. I love that. And it's so cool because you're doing something that most people dream of doing. Like, holy crap, you're in these just there's a sphere out there that people don't know they could tap into, but you have to be fantastic at what you do to get there. And I think that is so cool. Like, is this primarily your full-time job?
No, this is actually not my full-time job. For anyone who definitely has something they absolutely enjoy doing and want to pursue it as a career, definitely consider it, especially if you love it so much, but do
Yeah.
not quit your day job. It's good to have it as a plan B or like a side gig until you have a solid foundation to work in it.
Yep.
Yeah.
We talk about that
Uh,
a lot.
oh yeah. You guys talk about it a lot. Um, but my day job is working as a financial analyst for a Cal State campus. So
Ooh, okay.
yeah, I went to Cal State University Northridge
Okay.
uh, as for my undergrad studying financial analytics, investments and finance, if you will. So obviously a different area from anywhere in
Yeah.
media and acting. um it's just so funny that a lot of people that when they go to college, sometimes, I mean, it's not 100% of the time, but you find something or you continue to pursue something you love, and it probably has very little to do with what that other passion is, but hey, it's something that helps keep things fresh and helps you enjoy life by the day.
Yeah. I mean, a similar path. I went to college for public relations. I ended up in marketing, and somehow my marketing has gotten me to like Comic Cons all over the place with actors. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get how this happened. I mean, I'm fortunate enough. This is my full-time job. I have enough clients to sustain me, which, knock on wood, thank God.
Yeah.
It's just, it's that finding that middle ground. Because of course, this, for myself didn't happen overnight. It was 6 years in the making, so lots of those little side hustles and, doing what you got to do to get to that goal. And so it sounds like you've been at this and you've been doing so well at it. But I have to ask, what made you get into stunt work? Because this is brand new to you. What happened?
Okay. Yes. So I've always wanted to do more theater work in high school, but unfortunately, I didn't have that chance because I was already stacked with a lot of extracurricular groups in high school. So
Mhm.
um, I was restricted. I played tennis. I played varsity tennis in high school, and I was part of um, uh, several other groups. Sorry.
No, you're okay.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to. So, but I always loved doing, yes, parkour and learning free running and
The office parkour.
parkour.
I'm sorry. Everything we
No,
do,
no,
that goes right to Michael Scott.
yes, parkour, and then yeah,
But
seeing
you
everyone.
probably did it really cool though.
Oh yeah, I mean, albeit, yeah, always practice safety first.
Mhm.
But stunt work is definitely rewarding. It it provides a type of how to say, it's my athletic outlet,
Mhm.
especially recently. I mean, gladly. I mean, unfortunately, a lot of places are empty. We have to keep social
Right.
proper distancing with so that way we keep everyone safe. There have been a lot of open spaces, so I've been able to practice either in the park and doing just some simple vaults and different type of parkour maneuvers to practice. And so I have a bunch of uh, videos that I'm yet to upload. So I'm in the process of compiling those videos to upload. It's just a matter of picking the right take, so that way they look good, and also they
Yeah.
look favorable when I'm uh, trying to go for stunt work. So
Yep.
yeah, I've always had that interest engagement in the area because a lot of people love action movies, and you think, wow, could I do that? I think I can do that. Um, and it's like a dance, and a lot of people who are
The
into
choreography.
the choreography is
Mhm.
the thing that brings people in, especially when you see films like Star Wars with the lightsabers.
Yeah.
Everyone dreams of like being able to have a lightsaber and then clash. Um, but the choreography is like a dance. Whether you're using weapons or if you're using hand-to-hand combat, it's so fun because you're working with people in order to create this dance that has high velocity and is just octane filled, that you get a you get a high from it, but also it's very rewarding when you get to tell a story and practice something that you just absolutely love doing.
Hmm. Sorry, I
Yeah.
had to yell at my dog.
No, it's okay. What kind of dog do you have?
He's a Yorkie. He's I
Oh.
don't know why Matthias, come here. He's he's a Yorkie. I don't know why he just started like out of nowhere just starts barking. It's so weird. Um anyway, that's
Small
really
bodies, big hearts.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
I got two small ones. They just they run the house, not me.
Oh.
Well, that's really cool. Do you have to get like a separate agency to help you with those getting those stunt work, you know, those stunt work jobs?
Not right now. Currently, I am taking up non-union work. Uh, as those gigs come along. A lot of people, some of them don't know ways that if you don't have an agency, the best way to do is direct marketing or directly applying, as if you were for uh, applying for jobs. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So when you have a website and you have reels or photos, those assets are useful in selling yourself in order to for these roles. And so when you use places like backstage.com or LA casting, SF casting, uh, whatever you do, heck, a lot of the times, if you dress up, cosplay, it really makes a case because there's always productions that are looking for different types of people and
Yeah.
are doing these things. I remember there are several Disney Plus productions that are on their way, and
Mhm.
you'll see them pop up from time to time. And so uh, it's good to always be ready for when uh, roles that you might be interested pop up, and
Mhm.
you have this idea that you want to be this character. You can add it to your portfolio, your website, so that way you are ready to showcase your talents for when that time comes.
Right. Right. Yeah, it's super. I'm sure you have a system of probably looking every day, every other day for that type of work. What would be your dream goal in stunt work if you were to land that awesome role? What would it be?
Oh man, I mean, a lot of people would love to work on the MCU line of movies. That's for sure. But I myself, I would even be happy to. I would love to be a Jedi in
Yeah.
the expanded universe of Star Wars that Disney and Lucasfilm are making. If I ever get to be a Jedi or someone wielding a lightsaber, oh man, send
Dream
me off, send me
true.
off the planet. I'm set.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a meme out there for it said the first Jedi would be Mexican because of our training because we always played with piñatas when we were little, and I was like, that's so true.
Oh yeah, and we're wearing blindfolds while we
Yeah,
do it.
yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't realize how majestic we were growing up doing that shit. I
Oh man, it
was
gives
a
the
Jedi
illusion.
in training for years.
Yeah. Oh, you got that nailed down to a T, girl.
I wish, yeah, I know. I wish I knew people at Disney. Then I could just, I would just love to just see the production of it all. I had a guest on. She's done a lot of background work, and she was in The Mandalorian. I was like, damn,
Yeah.
I was like, holy crap. Like I think she was telling them this is the way. She was one of those cloaked women, and she spoke on it. I was like, holy crap, that's so cool.
Yeah. I remember that episode, and I absolutely loved it. By the way, you guys just had an awesome time. So props to you both on that
Yeah,
one.
that's so cool. Yeah, I think I think what you do is just so cool because you literally are crafting in a very creative way each character you get to work with, and you bring it to life. I think that is the hardest job in all of acting. I mean, any actor can get lines and recite them and throw them back out, but you're literally creating something iconic. People that are going to remember it when they hear it, just like your guys that got hyped hearing your voice. Like, that is so cool.
Yeah.
It's on another level. I mean, and no disrespect to actors that act, but I think voiceover work is far more superior.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so grateful that there is no one right way to acting, just as how there is no one right way to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I absolutely love that. With voice acting, like stunt work, it all contributes into that realm of acting. And so I mean, it's just a different type of medium to be able to convey emotion. When you're voicing, obviously there are different ways to pull in uh, a viewer, or ways that you can utilize pathos in order to appeal to their heart, their emotion, to pull them in. And so, yeah, when you're voice acting, of course, you can be like somber and
Yeah.
secretive, or you can be villainous and conniving, and you use every moral fiber of your being to unleash your malintent. Yeah, it's a colorful career that I am fortunate to have been excelling in at such a early stage. I'm so blessed and so honored to have been helped along the way, guided properly, and I'm always willing to give back uh, to helping future talents, so that way they can have their own success stories, and I look forward to those.
Yeah. Well, the Morphin Network's in the house. Hello, Leo. Speaking of Morphin Network, I think you'd make a fantastic villain. Talk to Ryan. He knows people.
I would love to. Oh my goodness.
You have to go down to New Zealand and film, though.
Oh my god.
I'm sure they'll, or actually, well, it's COVID. You could probably just do it from here.
Yeah. Oh man, to go to New Zealand. Whoo. We'll go there, and we'll visit we'll visit back lots, and heck, we're gonna go see the panoramic sights of Middle Earth, if you will.
Oh my God, yes. LO, he's doing Emperor's again. Yeah. He also called you the Asian Logan.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Um,
Ryan.
I've been wearing a lot of flannel lately. When I'm And so it's a running joke, especially with Ryan, because I've also been growing a beard, and so all I have to really do now is style my hair to how Logan
Yeah.
from X-Men,
Mhm.
and probably just put like knives in between my fingers, and I'll be like,
Oh, yeah. I was thinking John Wick. I don't know what you were
thank
thinking,
you.
Ryan. I was thinking John Wick. When I saw you, I was like, hey.
Oh my gosh. To
And
be
then when
like,
you said stunt work, I was like, please say John Wick.
oh man, I would have. Oh my gosh, that's funny that you brought it up, because I actually met one of my co-stars. He was an extra on the first John Wick, not the second one.
Mhm.
And he met Keanu, and he was like, "Oh, the stories are real." And I mean, it's hard to believe when you have a character that can literally kill a man
Yeah.
with a pen.
Hmm.
Just like that, just
Yeah.
hammering it into a book. I mean, like, wow. And he's such a nice guy.
Word gets around,
Yeah.
I'm sure because we're both in the LA area. Like, and if you work around these circles, you hear stories, and I've heard great things about Keanu. He's great. I would
Yeah.
love to meet him one day. I think so.
Oh, same.
So we do have a fan question. So Eric asks, "What's your advice for voice actors trying to get into the business?"
Very good question. Thank you, Eric. My advice for voice actors getting into the business would definitely be um, practice with practice and find a group to better your skills in voice acting, acting overall.
Mhm,
And a lot of times you will have a lot of time to yourself. And so when what I suggest is practicing your craft in any way you can. You may not always have a partner to help read in with you.
mhm,
So when you're traveling from home to work to get food, uh create monologues or scripts in your head. Talk to yourself. Yes, as crazy as that sounds, um, Mark Hamill, who's legendary for playing the Joker, he
mhm,
does a lot of that. I remember watching a Arkham Asylum interview with him. It was a featurette, and at times he would be the Joker, and he would like cowers behind his wheel, and he'd be like, like a maniacal
like method
maniac.
acting.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
it's method acting,
yeah,
exactly. And
that's
and it yeah, it blows my mind to this day. I immediately started doing it, and from then, just while you're practicing your skill, expand beyond the impressions. You can start with impressions, and it will soon
mhm,
allow you to branch out and adapt to adopting character archetypes, so that way you can try deeper, see what registers your voice can tackle, whether it's deep or medium or even brighter,
mhm.
as you could hear from the change in my tone. uh, it's truly magical, and when you find your what makes you stand out, that's going to ultimately help you be a better talent. Uh, and then when you have those skills, you reach out to groups that are looking for talent, and then you'll be ready uh, to audition for these roles. And if you get cast or even for a callback, that's always a positive note.
Yeah,
Always be grateful, always be thankful, no matter what type of project it is. If it's something you love, it doesn't matter, as long as you guys are helping each other, help edifying each other. It's just going to be a wild ride, and you guys are going to have a great time.
yeah, awesome. Well, we got some more questions for you. Ryan would like to know, who's your favorite voice actor?
Oh man, I can see all my colleagues just like staring daggers for anyone when they're watching this. Oh man. Oh geez. Uh there's a lot. I mean, I'm a huge fan of anime, and I've met so many amazing people on Twitter, which is where a lot of voice talents. It's kind of like the voice actors hub for anything and everything,
Mhm,
because everything is on that platform. Casting calls, and even just like sharing little animation, little shorts. And so,
mhm.
oh man, I'd have to say uh my favorite, but that's such a tough question. Sorry, Ryan. Yeah, there's just so many. It's so hard. But here, I'm gonna roll it out. I actually am an absolute fan of Bill Farmer. Bill Farmer is
Mhm,
such a down to earth guy. had not had the pleasure of meeting Bill yet. Um, but I mean, you know him as the voice of Goofy. You know him from a lot of Disney shows from the Disney afternoon lineup growing up in the 90s, in the early 2000s. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, he's a down to earth guy, and he's just got an impressive range. And I know there's a lot of talent out there. I'd like to say Bill Farmer is my favorite longtime professional voice actor.
Nice. Nice. Let's see. Morphin Network wants to know, would you ever audition for Power Rangers?
Oh my gosh, another dream gig. I especially doing stunt work. As a stunt talent, I would absolutely audition for Power Rangers. I again, every ranger is different, depending on who the character, what color. I don't get to choose that, but if I ever were given, I'd probably green, but I don't think there's ever been an orange ranger, has
I
there?
don't think so either. I
Yeah,
don't
I
think
mean,
so.
yeah.
Yeah.
Martha, is my feed stopped? I just noticed.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, you are. I think even Ryan says, I think you're frozen.
yeah, for some reason, that's so weird.
Interesting.
Um, keep the questions going though. I'll try and
Okay.
see if I can restart it.
Okay. Let's see. We have another question from Rosario Boida. You know, Ryan's got his whole family here. Thank you, Rosario. During a session, what is the secret to not straining your voice? I was actually going to ask this first. Oh, yeah.
Ooh, I love this question.
Now you're black.
I'm dark, but while I work on that, I'm going to answer Rosario's question. Thank you, Rosario, for your question. The secret to not straining your voice: monitor. Always monitor your limits, and warming up is important. Warm up is and should be the first thing to consider whenever you're doing any type of work with your voice, any type of dialogue, whether you're working on camera or when you're voice acting. You always have to warm up when you talk, or especially even before meeting, going into a meeting, or you're giving a presentation in school or work. You always want to ensure that you monitor how fast you're talking, so that way people can understand how you speak. So, and when you strain your voice, obviously it a lot of nerves can cause that. So when you're warming up, um, be sure to calm the nerves. It's very important when you're warming up that you calm those nerves, and then whatever you do to help exercise your vocal cords, whether it is drink something warm, even hot water. Doesn't have to be tea. A lot of people love hot tea and lemon with honey.
Mm.
I'd be careful with the honey just because it's a little viscous. I mean, as far as my experience goes, uh, it, because it is sticky, and and the viscosity can but it can make it hard to utilize your vocal speech patterns more.
Mhm.
I I would say do everything in moderation as you build up to start doing work.
Mhm.
Warm up is absolutely essential. So again, to summarize that up, monitor your speaking pattern and proper warm up, and always stay calm.
Nice. I didn't know about that with the honey. I thought the honey would help, but you bring up a really good point because it coats your throat and
Yes.
it could probably give your voice a different sound altogether.
Yeah. Again, everyone's different. Just in my experience, it's been it is different.
Hmm.
I guess my body's just weirder, but it isn't the same for everybody. Everyone has their own uh, home remedies that work. I
Yeah.
mean, heck, if eating gummy worms might work for you, by all means, go for it. It's your method, and if it works, it works. It's just something that has worked for a lot of people.
What's your length of time that you're sitting in a sound booth, just constantly recording and stuff? To help? Is there like, do they strain you? Are you in there for hours at a time, or do you guys, do they know to give you breaks to like calm your voice and to rest it for a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, especially in this environment, um a lot of clients that I've been working with, I mean, they usually go on for 1 to 2 hours. I mean, the longest one I've ever been in so far uh, since I've been ever recorded, I think I've only been there max like 3 hours. But of course, I'd say, without a break, especially if the energy is just rolling and it's just exciting and we want to keep up the energy, I'd
Mm-hmm.
say I've gone an entire recording session for a straight 2 hours, 17 minutes. It's weird that how exact it is.
Yeah.
I remember being on a Skype call and seeing the time on the call. I was like, oh shoot, 2 hours, 17 minutes. It felt like I just started.
Yeah. Do you want me to kick you out of this for a minute and then we'll just bring you back in? Maybe that'll help.
Okay, let's try that.
Let's do that. All right, we're gonna take a quick break, guys. Here, remove from stream. Maybe we're gonna kick you from the studio. Okay, we're gonna kick the guest, or we're gonna kick the guest out. We'll bring him back in. I want to thank everyone for bringing in your questions and lots of activity on YouTube. Appreciate you guys. Justin will be right back. Obviously, we're having technical difficulties as always. Yeah, I think this is a really great. I love talking to voice actors. I think they're fantastic. It's so methodical as to how they all come back, and create these characters that we all love. And I know once the Comic-Con scene comes back, Justin needs to have a booth at a Comic-Con. I'm just saying. And if you need to know more about Justin, he does have an IMDb page, so just look up his name, Justin Cabanting, at IMDb, and you can see all of his roles. I'll be putting it in the link in the bio here. Yeah, it's just funny. It's been a very long time since we've done a live show. I haven't had issues in a while because we just haven't been live. So appreciate all of you guys. Shout out to the Morphin Network, Ryan Bueda, who helped us with getting today's guest in. Without Ryan, we wouldn't have as many cool shows. I'm not gonna lie. He's been really helpful and I appreciate him a lot. I don't know if he's still here though. But yeah, I think we have a lot of really cool shows lined up here in the future. I know it's been interesting. If you guys have been following MDMC's story and what we've been doing, we used to do this show every week. And of course, we do have a supplementary show called The Development, based out of New York by my MDMC East team. And so The Development has just been kicking butt, and they have been talking to amazing people. But the thing of the matter is like, it's super hard to do this every week. And especially since MDMC has grown so quickly, we decided to make this a bi-weekly show. So next week, you will see The Development. And let's welcome back Justin. I was just telling everybody you're on IMDb.
Thank you so much, and apologies for the little technological hiccup.
No worries, no worries. It's a live show. Things go down.
Hopefully without a hitch. I mean, that's the one prayer every time. No.
Yeah. All right. Well, we got more fan questions here. We got Jake out of YouTube. He says, "What was the favorite role you played?" I think you talked about this, but I don't know if Jake was there for your answers. If you want to reiterate what your favorite role was.
Thank you for your question, Jake. Always appreciate all these fan questions. So my favorite role I played, I did mention my favorite professional role, but I don't think I got to mention my favorite fan related role.
Oh, that's right. We didn't talk about that.
Yeah, I had forgotten the train of thought, so no worries there. for a lot of fan projects, especially with a lot of my friends, I've been involved in a lot of passion projects, especially for those who are familiar with a series called Final Fantasy VII.
Mm.
A lot of people know the character of Cloud Strife, uh, the wielder of the Buster Sword. In several projects by Imagivotion fan films, they've done a series called Project M, which is a passion project that takes place as a prequel prior to the main Final Fantasy VII game. And I play Cloud in that, and I've also voiced in a lot of uh, uh, short things, fan made things as Cloud. And so I have to say that is my favorite role I've had the honor of playing. If I ever get to voice Cloud in an actual Square Enix production, it really uh, it's a deep shot in the dark, that's for sure. But that would be another, once again, a dream come true. If anything, working for a Square Enix game would be an absolute dream come
Ryan says you need to cosplay as Cloud.
All right. Challenge accepted. I will have to do it. It will be.
Here, I think you, whenever Comic Cons come back, if and when they ever come back, you should just have a booth and you can cosplay there.
Okay, perfect. All right.
Or Morphin Network will have a booth somewhere. Maybe you can sit there. I don't know.
Morphin Network presents Justin cosplays.
I think that sounds dope as hell. I can help y'all with the marketing on that. Speaking of Morphin Network, they said, talk about Pocket Dimension, bro. Leo.
Hey, Leo. Good to see you, my friend. Yes, Pocket Dimension. So, Pocket Dimension was a very, very interesting project. So our friends from Morphin Network, uh, were they were in the works of creating a series, and it's a long time running series that I recommend anyone who's into a lot of pop culture and definitely is a fan of Power Rangers, no matter what era, what generation. Go watch it on YouTube with Morphin Network. Uh, I was asked and invited by Ryan and Leo on Morphin Network to play the role of Dark Emissary Sombra. So he is a uh, he was a he's a villain. He's a dark character that wore this helmet, and it was basically in the final diary episode. We had played off of Avengers Infinity War and Endgame, and it was absolutely funny. I remember asking Leo, "Hey Leo, can I do flips here?" And and then he's like, "No, man, you can't do that. It's like, nah, we don't want to risk you hurting yourself or hurting anyone else for that matter." I'm like, "Okay," but we just did like very simple sword play and uh hand-to-hand combat. It was funny. It's what you would expect from a very fun fan low budget project, and we had an awesome time. I actually have a prop that I brought on for that. Martha, can I get it really quick? It's just
Oh,
right
yeah.
behind me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Morphin Network over here says, "All memories."
Oh yeah, great memories. Oh my goodness. So a lot of you will get vibes from this helmet right here. This is what I used for the Pocket Dimension. As you can see, it kind of looks like a Mandalorian helmet.
Yeah.
That was the idea when I had first bought this. I do airsofting as a sport,
Okay.
and so the purpose of this helmet is for airsofting. However, I have only gotten to use it once, or actually twice, and our friends from Morphin Network asked, "Hey, do you have a black helmet, or do you have anything that can like kind of mask your identity?" I was like, "I have an airsoft helmet. Would that work?" He said, "Send me a picture." Oh, that's perfect. Bring that. And so we filmed Pocket Dimension with it, and we got foam swords, and yeah, it was a fun. there were fun sequences that we filmed, and I had an awesome time filming it.
Where can people find that?
Where do people find that? That is a very good question. I have to research that. But if you guys are curious, I will go ahead and post it onto my Instagram for those who are asking. And then you guys can Google it and find it. There isn't just one provider of it. A lot of retailers sell it. So I can post about that on my social medias if you guys like.
Awesome. Jake had a question. He says, can you voice Cloud? He put someone else, but he's like, sorry, I meant Cloud. So can you voice Cloud?
Do you happen to know the other character he had said? I
don't know how to say this. This is nerd.
Sephiroth. Oh. All right, Jake, get ready. We'll start with Cloud first.
Okay.
Not interested. Look, I'm just here for the money, and I'm gone. Let's go. The power of Mako. Stay where you belong, in my memories.
Thank you.
That sounds so theatrical. I love it.
Thank you. I take a lot of inspiration from Steve Burton's take on Cloud Strife, who voiced Cloud for the majority of the characters' debut with a voice role, because in the 90s when the first Final Fantasy VII game came out, voice acting wasn't as prominent in video games yet. But when Kingdom Hearts came around, that was the debut of Cloud Strife's voice for the first time in the video game. And so I take a lot of inspiration from that, and that's how my voice sounds a lot like for Cloud.
Yeah.
But Jake, I have one more for you for Sephiroth.
Good to see you, Cloud. Your geostigma is gone. That's too bad. Now, I shall join the planet with Mother. One day we will find a new planet, and on that soil bear a shining future. Well, that's up to you, Cloud.
And there you have it.
Yeah.
There you go for the villainous Sephiroth.
That's so dope. I bet. Do you like playing villains more than like the good guys?
You know, it's a sad but true story. A lot of people tell me I'm like the nicest guy. Not to toot my own horn. I see a piece of trash, or I see someone who's carrying a bunch of stuff, I will rush and open the door.
Yeah.
Heck, if someone sneezes about probably half a mile away and I hear it, I will say, "Bless you," and then I'll hear, "Thank you." Yeah, I will do that. I will go out of my way to help people. And so playing villains is definitely a fresh air. So
Nice.
I definitely do love playing a villain, a good villain.
So Jake asked this a while back. Sorry, Jake. I know he just asked it again. Sorry. Favorite video game franchise?
Oh, another good, hard question. Okay. A lot of people can argue it is either Final Fantasy or Kingdom Hearts. However, unfortunately, both answers are incorrect. My favorite video game franchise is Resident Evil, aka Biohazard, in Japan.
Nice. Wow. Thank you, everyone, who participated in today's live video and add all these amazing questions. God, you're so talented. I can't wait to see what else you do, Justin.
Thank you so much, Martha. Thank you for having me, and thank you, Morphin Network and Ryan, for connecting us. I had a wonderful time being on the show, and I can't wait to see what more awesome stuff you folks come up with at MDMC.
Man, there's a lot. There's a lot coming down the pipe.
I look forward to it. Yeah.
Can't say much, but it's exciting. But yeah, so where can people find you? Do you have like, are you cool with people like hitting you up on social? Like, I don't know, like, you know, you're talented and stuff. Like,
oh, thank you.
If you want people stalking you now.
Of course, I always invite it, especially if anyone has any questions. I'm always happy to help guide people in the right direction, whether it's about voice acting, stunts, or even finding a good dojo. Also, I mean, I have a lot of friends who practice several types of martial arts, and so I'll be happy to guide you folks in the right direction. You folks can follow me on my socials. I should have given this ahead of time for the show.
It's okay.
You
We'll put it in the description on the below.
Awesome. For you folks tuning in right now, you folks can follow me on Instagram and Twitter. My handle is jcabanting, VA. And you folks can also see my latest stuff and upcoming projects that I will be starring in on my website at jcabantingvoices.com.
Oh, nice. All right. Well, I cannot wait to see what else happens. You know, you have such a bright future. I think you're well on your way. So my best of luck to you. And if you need help promoting anything, let us know. We'll send it out to the masses.
You got it. MDMC is my go-to.
Thank you. We appreciate it. Well, that's it, guys. I want to thank everybody that came in and asked questions and watched this episode. We appreciate it. Justin, thank you so much for your time. I know you're super busy, but we appreciated you having me being here, and we wish you nothing but the best. I can't wait to, talk to you after you get like that Marvel. When you get that Marvel job, you're going to come here and we're going to interview you again.
Awesome. I look forward to it. Thank you so much again for having me, folks. Thank you everyone for your wonderfully engaging questions, and I look forward to seeing you on the flip side.
All right. Thank you, Justin. Goodbye, everybody.
Thanks, everybody. Aloha.
Hi.